use this little square that I got, this little tiny square. I'm going to dance within it. A little snap. A little side to the side. Thanks for the emojis, being silly and goofy with me. Thank you. We're just moving our bodies, getting ready for a self-reflective practice. Not really flossing, but so welcome everyone to Friday. Welcome to your Friday. This is the Expressive Arts KSAC drop-in live. I am your host, Ale. I use they, he, and she pronouns. So thank you for joining me. We are just dancing it up, getting into our bodies, getting into ourselves. I like to start with a movement practice when I start to create because it gets me embodied and into my senses. So thank you for joining me with that. Again, y'all can just move in your seat. There's no movements that are not okay and not or. They're all welcome here. There's too many knots there. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today we are talking about the challenges and gifts of our lives. So I just went on the Instagram live and we're doing a similar structure. I'm going to be vulnerable with you and be real because I believe that when I am vulnerable, it helps others be vulnerable and helps others with their own reflective art practice. So challenges and gifts. We're just thinking about this topic. I'm going to shuffle a card for us from this deck, and then I will read from it, see if there's any messages for us together here. I'm asking that we receive a message that we need for today, for our practice, for our week, just something that we need to hear. All right, I will shuffle it like this one time. All right, let's choose a card and see what we got. Woo! It's a good one. The Nine of Fire. Nine of Fire. I'm going to pull it up so we can read about it, see what kind of message it has to share with us. All right, the nines in general, they are solitude, mastery, and wisdom. In the nines, a woman releases her grief, a man sits in deep meditation. One woman has an ecstatic experience in a sea cave, and another woman enjoys a beautiful day in a lavender field. The 9 in each suit represents the end of the third of 3 cycles and is the most powerful card of completion. The power of 3 times 3 is the most potent of all. The figures in these cards are all experiencing the abundance and satisfaction of completing this cycle. This 9 card depicts the quality of solitude, experience, and wisdom as seen through the elemental suits. In these cards, we have reached a level of self-mastery, peace, and wisdom that has been hard-won. More than any other cards, they represent the ability to live in the present moment. 9 is related to the Hermit with its themes of solitude, soul-searching, and wisdom. All right. When you get this card in a reading, you've reached a time in your life when you are self-confident, self-possessed, and at peace with yourself. You are radiant with personal power and yet are humble and approachable. You use your personal power responsibly and competently. Because of your spiritual practice, you are able to handle anything that comes your way with calm equanimity. I am a being of light and of fire, as well as flesh and bone. So thank you for being here with me for that reading. I hope that you received something from that message I know that I have. So I shared in the Instagram live that I want to look at our topic of challenges and gifts and think about it, at least for myself, as a trauma survivor, a survivor of domestic abuse and of violence, which is why I love working with KSAC. I believe in it so much, and it is part of my identity. I am continually looking at and working at healing these parts of myself. And even though it's been 13 years since the height of my trauma, I still feel the depths, and I still feel ripples, the ripple effects of this. Right now I'm lighting some Palo Santo, which is a sacred wood from the Amazon, which is where I was born. I was born in Venezuela. So we are just cleansing the air. If you're at home, feel free to smudge your space and cleanse your space, preparing yourself for this art practice. It smells really, really good. This is the last bit of it, and I'm not buying any. I've never bought any. Apparently this sacred tree is going and we're kind of cutting them down, right? This is what humans are doing. So I do not want to continue this, but so this is very special for me to light. Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us. We are just starting our self-reflective practice. I was sharing about my own personal trauma and my relationship to it. So this week I had to make one of the biggest choices in my life. And even though I felt a yes in my mind, in my soul, in my body and spirit, there were a lot of fears that came up. Fears because the logistical sides of things weren't matching up. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So the fears were coming and I was spiraling into those fears. So I want to try a practice with you, and it's what I did this weekend and this week, is sitting with myself and just taking a few breaths and listening. And every time I did that, I came back to my yes. I came back to myself and to my heart. And so I'm going to be vulnerable with you and do this live with you all and try to be as authentic as I can. Thank you again for letting me be vulnerable, because there was a time in my life where I was scared to be on screen. Listen, I'm scared every time I go live. It's a part of it. So this is why I'm thanking you for letting me be vulnerable with you. So I'm going to try to do 5 authentic breaths with you so we can get to our center, get to our yes, get to our answers. I apologize for that sound. So here we go. Let's take 5 breaths with ourselves. Feel free to do any kind of breath. You may not want to breathe with us, and that is okay. Listen to yourself. You are the expert on your life, and trust that. All right, so I will begin for myself. Feel free to join me as you wish. Thank you very much. That was 5 breaths, and I did 1 for good measure. Thank you for joining me. Now, if you are at home, you can join me in this expressive arts practice. What I am being guided to do for myself is to write about the topic of challenges and gifts. If you're at home, you may want to also write about your challenges and gifts, or you may want to doodle or write or draw or move around your challenges and gifts. Let's see if I can turn this sound off here. I don't usually use this iPad. Here we go. All right. So listen to your own intuition. I'm going to take a few moments to just write, let myself go, thinking about challenges and gifts. Specifically for myself, I'm going to think about the challenges and gifts of my trauma, the challenges and gifts of my art practice, and the challenges and gifts of being a queer person and a gender variant person. But listen to yourself and to what you need to write about. And here we go. All right, so I've come to a stopping place or pausing place for now. If you're at home, feel free to keep on writing if that is what you would like to do, or keep drawing or continue. This, you can look at it as a gateway to an art practice. Sometimes I set a timer for myself of just 2 minutes or 5 minutes if I'm playing guitar, just for practicing, and that is usually just a gateway, and then I will practice for another hour and sometimes jam for another hour after that. So these are just invitations. You can do more, you can do less. So this is what I wrote for myself around challenges and gifts. Hello and welcome to my body. I've known you. I know you. We have lived together for some time. You've tried to shut me out, shut me down, but I'm here to remind you of your strengths, of the depths of who you are, here to remind you where you've come from, here to remind you of the pain. Hello and welcome. Do I have to feel you? Well, you can push me down, drown me out, but I am part of you, and I promise if you listen, I have wisdom to share. Hello, I'm here. I'm here for you to slow down and take a breath and breathe with me and remember who you are. So that feels like a message to myself. I tend to move fast in my life and my thoughts, and it's nice to think and take a breath and to pause and to listen to myself. Because it is in that time when I listen that at least this week, I received that clear answer of yes. And when I was not in that space of listening and breathing within myself, I just went down all the thoughts, all the spirals. So I'm just grateful for the fears, grateful for the spiral to give me time to come into myself and to be with myself. So now I'm going to aesthetically respond to my writing. So an aesthetic response is when you witness art or you take in art, read a poem, watch a movie, and you feel something within you that is responding. It could be a visceral reaction. It could be an embodied movement. It could be images that come into your head. What we're going to do is take what I've written, or for you, what you have written, and we're going to respond, or I'm going to respond to the piece. So I'm not sure what's going to happen. I'm going to just listen, and for you, just listen to your own intuition. Welcome yourself. Trust your guidance and to what you want to do in this art practice. And thank you for being here with me. It is a gift to be vulnerable with you, and it's thrilling and exciting, and I'm not sure what's going to happen. So let's see what comes. So on our Instagram, I was intuitively drawn to play the compact conga, which is a drum. So I'm going to try some guitar now. Mind remind you. I'm here to remind you, here to remind you of your depths, of your Cause I'm here to remind you, here to remind you of your depth. Don't be afraid, I'll be here with you. Don't be afraid, I'll hold you through it. Don't be afraid, I know you'll go through it all, and you won't be alone. No, you won't be alone. Cause I'm here to remind you. Take a breath, just remind you of your depth. Thank you so much for being here and listening to me. That was very nice. I wanted to keep on singing that same refrain. It's like I've had a shift in the way I think about music and songs, and they are friends to me and gifts to me to live and bring into my life. So I hope that this helped you. I hope that this inspires you to create and to go within yourself, trust your intuition, and to have your own self-reflective art practice. Thank you so much for joining me and allowing me to be vulnerable with you. I hope to see you next week. I will be live on Instagram at 11 a.m. and I will hop on to Facebook Live at 11:45 where you can join me in this process together. So thanks again, and I hope to see you there. Bye-bye.